Thrive Nation, on today's show, I'm going to interview a couple a couple of people, a wonderful group of people who've actually worked with us. They have a family business, and they've allowed us to help them to grow their business. And I'm here to celebrate their success and to hopefully encourage you that you too can grow your business. And now, without any further ado, we have the founders of Glue and Nails on the Thrive Time Show. How are you guys?
We're wonderful. Thank you, Clay.
Wonderful.
Well, I'm going to let you, Greg, kind of introduce your wife and your team, just so people know that you're not a hologram.
That's my wife, Dawn. She pretty much runs the operation around here.
And
I do all the pointing.
how long have you guys worked with us here at the Thrive Time Show and Make Your Life Epic Business Consulting?
It will be 2 years, June 11th, I think, right about there.
2 years? Okay.
Yes.
And what kind of growth have you seen? Have you grown by 0.5%? Have you grown by 1%? What sort of growth have you seen thus far?
So far this year, 92% over last year. Last year was similar numbers.
Wow. And now, what's your website? I know people want to go to your website now and again, verify that you're not a hologram.
Glueandnails.com.
Okay, I'm going to pull it up on the screen here so people can see. It's glueandnails.com, glueandnails.com. And I want to brag on you guys for a second because what I do is I grow businesses, but I can't grow businesses unless I work with diligent clients that are willing to put in the effort to actually implement the proven systems. And so you guys have grown your business dramatically, but it's not as a result of just coming to a weekly meeting and then not doing your homework. So I'd like to get your thoughts here. Don, what was the most challenging first step that you guys had to take? Because I sit down with every client to make a plan, a 13-point assessment, then I give you guys a plan. What was the biggest first challenge that you guys had to overcome en route to growing your business and actually implementing the plan?
We had to realize that we were doing it wrong.
Okay.
And you pointed out, you just have to stick with what you point out, what you say, put the numbers here, put the numbers there, and sticking with it, doing it constantly.
Every day.
Every day.
And I think that a lot of people, because people email in a lot, or the last questions they'll say, well, what was the one thing that moved your business the most? And I would just say it would be like asking maybe someone who builds cars, what's the most important one part of the car that makes it work? Because one could make a compelling argument that the tires are the most compelling, or that the steering wheel is the most important, or the transmission is the most important. But it's all of those systems working together. So I want to go kind of piece by piece. So let's start with the numbers. Let's start with the accounting for a second, or the bookkeeping. I know for a lot of people that is a source of overwhelm, looking at their numbers and being intentional about charging enough to hit your financial goals. And I think, if I'm correct, I think you guys were guilty of undercharging, where a lot of people try to take advantage of people and overcharge. I think you two were guilty of undercharging. Greg, am I accurate there? Were you guys undercharging at one point?
We didn't want to upset our customers, Clay. You are absolutely correct. Yes. And in fact, our hourly charge is currently 3 times what it was when we started.
Now, when working with you guys have always done excellent work, and so when people go to your website, they're going to see excellent work and craftsmanship, home remodeling, next level work. One thing I think you also, Don, that you guys were guilty of is under branding yourself. Like, you guys do great work and you're super humble people, but you weren't running around saying we're awesome. And then, you were actually kind of under branding your website, under branding your before and afters, under branding your testimonials. Can you talk about how much that's helped you guys to actually, update the branding and update the marketing that you're doing to get more customers?
The customers see the before and after. They like to see that. They just the pictures, the quality, the honesty that we have. The customer, a family-owned business, just to see before and afters. They like to be able to see that the pictures, the going to the website, updating the pictures, posting them on our the Google business, the they have to see that, and that has helped us show customers this is what, getting it out of their head and putting it in person. They
And
need to see
again,
that.
you guys have grown, Greg, by as a percentage. How much have you guys grown? I mean, is it safe to say you've doubled your company? Have you doubled in size?
Yes, I would say our average year previous to meeting you, 200 to 300, maybe 350 maximum gross income per year. We're staring right down the barrel of 900,000 this year, and we just went through first quarter, which is traditionally the worst quarter for construction and remodeling.
And so you guys have tripled your business.
Yes.
And again, what I love about your story is you're super humble, kind people. And someone thinks, well, wow, this Clay, what do you do? Is it just accounting? Is it just marketing? Is it just branding? It's all of it. It's end to end. I'd love to get your thoughts on this, Greg. Having the consistent meeting every week, knowing that that's a rock in your schedule that you can kind of build upon. How big of an impact has that had for your family business?
It's huge. And we're very fortunate to be close to your office too, so that we get to have those in-person meetings. We could Zoom, but when I was young, I was told if you work really hard, you'll be wealthy. That's not true. You can pound your head against the wall for many years, which I did, and that's hard work, and you have blood, sweat, and tears involved, but it doesn't produce anything. You have to have a system. You bring the other half of that system that works for us. We bring the hard work. You bring the intelligence, and it works. It's a great system.
And what are all the system or all the processes that you guys have had to refine? I mean, have you started working on sales scripting yet? Again, for a lot of people, they think, marketing is an event. All of a sudden, you're going to get more sales, but you're really marketing. Branding is step one. Marketing is step two. So branding is improving the look and the perception people have of your business. Step two is getting in front of your ideal and likely buyers. And then selling is actually a different thing. That's kind of step three here. Have we worked with you guys yet on the scripting and the sale and the selling? Have you started implementing those systems yet, Greg?
We have not implemented any particular sales system, mainly because so far the businesses coming in is almost overwhelming for us to handle. So we're still building the system there, but we are certainly working on sales script. That's coming soon.
So what you're saying is you have so many leads coming in, it's almost like a fire hose?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Really? Now, Dawn, you, if I'm correct, I believe you do a lot of the numbers in the business. You look at the accounting and the numbers. I find a lot of wonderful people, humble entrepreneurs and contractors tend to die a death by invoice, where they become almost like a bank. They don't want to be a bank, but they offer the customer terms like, hey, we'll remodel your kitchen and you can pay us 90 days after it's done or 60 days after it's done. And then all of a sudden the customer doesn't pay or they pay late. And then you end up being stuck with all the overhead, all the bills, and none of the money. Have you guys, have we worked with you on that at all as far as refining the billing process?
Absolutely. You told us don't be a bank. You're not a bank. So we refined the invoices where we do deposit up front, and then we're able to use that in phases for the contract for the work.
Yes. That was one of the first words out of your mouth in our first meeting. Was don't be the bank.
Don't be the bank.
And quite frankly, we did take draws in the past, but they weren't well thought out. It was just some arbitrary number. Now I write most of our spreadsheets, and we now know what money we will need by what phase in the job, each and every job, and we try to stick to that. And the pain is much less than it was in the past.
You guys, just like oxyfresh.com and tiptopcanine.com and a lot of the brands we've worked with for years, you guys have been to the workshops. You've actually been to my home. You've met the staff. You've really taken it all in. I'd love to get your thoughts on the workshop, how that may have helped you in your growth there, Greg. How have the workshops helped you guys?
We've been to 6 or 8 workshops. I've lost track. We go virtually every time. because you can't learn it all the first time, unless you're smarter than me, which wouldn't be very difficult. But we learn something new from some entrepreneur every single time we come to one of these meetings. There's just always something new to learn. You can't get it all in one any more than you can read the Bible and know everything that's in it just because you read it once. So it's the same thing here. We can't, we go each time and find something new, some new thing.
Don, can you maybe comment on the format of the workshops? Because when I was growing my first company, djconnection.com, every once in a while, someone would reach out to me or market to me and say, well, Clay, you need to come to this workshop. And I would go, no, I've been to it. I know what it's going to be like. It's going to be some guy who's not going to answer any questions. It's going to be focused on motivation stuff, motivational. That's going to be the angle, is motivational or inspirational. And at no point will somebody have specific action items, and I'm going to waste a day or two of my life. And then at the end, just as a nice reward, they're going to try to upsell me something that I don't want, or some secret program, or they're going to try to sell me on being certified. Or could you maybe explain, Don, what the workshop was like from your experience?
Every workshop we've been to, depending on what stage we were in our business, we would pick up little nuggets of information at each workshop, whether that be you up front or someone else up front, or just from another business owner or entrepreneur. Just those little nuggets. I would take notes, and when I go back through those notes, I knew that this part here was the important nugget for this particular workshop, that whatever phase we were on in our business, that helped us. And then we would implement that where we needed to put that.
You know, and I would say this one thing that what I do is I try to keep the clients on track, you know? And so kind of like if you've ever been on a road trip with a bunch of kids, you know, you're on a road trip and your kids are like, can we go to the bathroom? And if you want to ever get to Iowa and you live in Oklahoma, you have to say, hold it until we get gas, or there's got to be somebody that's going, all right, stay focused. Or if you've ever been a, let's say a bus driver, and you've ever had to, okay, guys, stop it, we're back there. Or if you've ever been a tour guide or a whitewater rafting tour guide, or you've ever had any position of leadership, sometimes, you know, you have to be Mr. Not Fun and keep people on the path, because the new ideas and shiny objects sometimes can distract others. Has it helped you, Greg, at all to have a team that's keeping you on the path? Does that help at all?
100%. Yes. You know, what we got from our last meeting, by the way, which we've heard every single time we go to the meeting, and I'm a believer, but sometimes you just have to beat somebody in the head with things. You have to have a calendar and a to-do list. You ever heard that before, Clay? You have to have, there's a sign, people don't know this, but there's a sign at your place that says things that get scheduled get done. And you cannot accomplish your goals if you don't write it down. And that means every minute of every day. Something comes in, put it on the list.
Right.
It's just a quick thing. It has to happen.
Yeah, and then now having a team to help you do your videography, your photography, your web development, your online ads, all of that, so you don't go back home and have to recode your website or figure out how the ads work. How has that impacted you, Don, as far as, you know, having a team that handles a lot of the technology and a lot of those things behind the scenes?
So we don't have to do it, and we probably would do it wrong.
Well,
so
we did it wrong before we got here.
But no, we've learned so much about, one, how we were doing it wrong, but now that we have your team doing that, it's changed everything.
I don't have to be a web designer. Some customer commented the other, oh, your website is just wonderful. We just love your website. How did you do it? And I said, we have a business coach. I don't have to do that. I have to build things, and I'm really good at that.
Well, you know, one thing about the growth of a business too is its iterations. It's not, as an example, there was a guy I saw in South Dakota who was a wood carver. He carved big pieces of wood, into animals, into a bear or to eagles. And I thought so highly of his craftsmanship that I bought one and brought it back to my office. So I bought one and I sent JT to South Dakota to go pick it up and drive back, a short 24-hour road trip there. But I when you look at somebody, these skilled artists, they take a block of wood and they have a chainsaw, and you watch it, and at first you have no idea what they're doing. You know, it looks like they don't have, they don't know what they're doing. And at first, if you don't have a lot of faith in the process, it looks kind of weird. They're just chopping stuff off. And if you sit there for like an hour or two, which I did in South Dakota, all of a sudden you start to go, I think that's an eagle. That could be an eagle. Is that an eagle or a bird? Is that a cardinal? Is it a? And pretty soon you go, an hour later, and then all of a sudden you're chipping away at the details. Now you're making the details, and you come back 4 or 5 hours later, you're going, that is a amazing eagle. And then you think you're done, and you come back 5 hours later, and he's still chipping away, and now it's like a piece of artwork. And that's how growing a business is. You start with the big idea, and you chisel it away every day. And I think now what I'm excited about is we're getting into the details. We're starting to really optimize your core pages in terms of we can focus on, what's the best video testimonial to add to the website, and maybe which one should be at the top. Whereas at first it's just kind of like, if we can get a video testimonial, let's add it to the site. But now we're starting to get enough where it's like, well, let's put the best before and after at the top of the site, so now we're able to really start to make some iterations. Is it more fun now, Greg, now that there's some momentum and now that you get to be more selective about what leads to take on and what projects to work with? Can you maybe talk about that?
We can select our customers now, now that things are under control. Look, every day is a challenge. We work endless hours. People say, how many hours do you work? I say, all of them. I don't know. We just don't stop. But now we actually see how this is going. I had no idea how to nail and then scale, as to use your terminology, our business. I knew how to get up every day and drive nails and cut wood and make it look pretty, and I'm really good at that. And I'm a freak about details and organization and numbers and so forth. But you have to have an engine to drive that really pretty car, and you guys are the engine. Now we see that. We see the destination. The sooner the better. It's the way I see it. Let's get there.
The final two questions I have, I'm going to ask each the same question. So I'm going to go with you, Greg. That way your incredible wife can one up you here. Okay. So for anybody out there that's thinking about coming to an in-person workshop, they're thinking about going to thrivetimeshow.com and requesting a ticket. I'm very clear on these shows. You can pay $250 for a ticket, or you can name your price if you're in a tight spot. Or for anybody thinking about scheduling a one-on-one consultation, that's the first step somebody has to take. They schedule a 13-point assessment with me to see if they're a good fit. What would you say, Greg, to anybody thinking about coming to a workshop or thinking about scheduling a one-on-one consultation?
You couldn't possibly spend better money, in my opinion. And I'm not being paid to say that. I'm paying you. So I don't think you could possibly invest better money into your business than hiring effectively a $9 an hour employee that has turned us into a now, 200%, 300% of what we started at. I'm seeing the sky as the limit. Don't pass up that opportunity. You would make a big mistake.
And I guess as a follow-up to that, then I'll go to your wife. If you were to not have the weekly meetings, let's just say those meetings were weekly or quarterly, what would happen to the business if you didn't have that weekly check-in there, Greg?
Well, I don't know that we would have survived some weeks. It's lest you think you're going to sign up with Thrive 15 and just suddenly, boom, you're successful. That's not the truth. You're still going forward on the path that you were on. Ours was quite rough, and you're going to hit the potholes. But now we can see the potholes before we get to them. And even if that's the road we're on, it's easy for us to handle that as we go now. If you didn't do that every week, wow. Oof. We've had some tough weeks. We've come in there whining a few times, like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a rough week. And it is. But we find a strategy, we attack it, we beat the problem down and move on to the next week. And they seem to be getting better every single week.
Don, what do you think would happen if you didn't have the weekly meetings to kind of keep things on track?
We would fall apart. The weekly meetings are, you can't go without them. You can't. It has to be weekly, because you're held accountable for doing the tracking sheet, putting in the numbers, doing all the paperwork, keeping the phone calls organized. You have to have it weekly. Have to.
And what would you say, Don, to anybody out there that's thinking about reaching out to us? You have so many doctors and dentists and lawyers. And whenever I talk to these folks at a conference, they always tell me, I wish I would have called you 10 years ago. And I go, well, did you know about this 10 years ago? And a lot of times they go, yeah, I've listened to your podcast like every day for, 7 years or 8 years, and I just never filled out the form. What would you say to anybody who's just thinking about coming to a conference or filling out that form and requesting a one-on-one consultation?
Go, and there's going to be a nugget that you're going to find of information. Something is there that you need to hear. Something. Wherever it is that you are in your business, you have to be able to have the ears. And like I said, my notebook, I'm a note taker. He's not really, but
Well, I have you.
but taking of the notes, and then going back to the notes, and what was that? Oh yeah, that's what he said. And using that's your little nugget of information that you can get at any of the workshops. One, you can't get all the information in just one workshop. It can be overwhelming, but there's something there that you need to hear.
Well, guys, I am so honored to work with you guys. It really is a pleasure to work with you guys and to see your business grow. And as you know, when you're in the office, the reason why I only take on 160 clients is because I'm always busy. Just yesterday, one of our longtime great clients we've had for over 10 years, his SSL certificate expired because his card got stolen, and with 160 clients, that kind of thing happens to one of my clients every week, and so it's like, that's why I only work with 160 clients, and it's an honor to work with you guys. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys hit that $5 million mark. It's going to happen, and you guys are doing great work. So thank you for carving out time for us, and hope you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you, Clay.
For
You too.
time for us.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Clay.
Bye-bye.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See, it's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood.
This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
So we really just want to thank you, Clay, and thank you, Vanessa, for everything you've done, everything you've helped us with. We love you guys.
I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. One month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
The Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.